Okay, hi everyone. I'm Joanne, and I'm with the Journal of Neurosurgery, or JNS Publishing Group. We are the publications arm of the American Association of Neurological Surgeons, also known as the AANS. AANS is located outside Chicago. Whoa, I got louder. And we are actually located in Charlottesville, Virginia. So there's a big separation between us. It's a long tradition. It originally started off as a physical representation of editorial independence, and it's just sort of lingered on and actually has some effects that we touch upon in our strategic plan. We publish 4 journals. 3 are primarily print and online. The Journal of Neurosurgery is the most cited journal specific to neurosurgery, and also has the highest impact factor in that field. The Journal of Neurosurgery Spine and JNS Pediatrics started off as being supplements, gained a lot of interest among subspecialists, and have also, have been around since 2004 and 2008 respectively as independent journals. Our 4th journal is Neurosurgical Focus. It is electronic only and freely accessible to all. This was sort of a big innovation because it went online in 1996, before we even had a website of our own. Our parent organization supported it. And so it was a big thing for neurosurgery at the time. Focus is topic-driven. All of the journals, of course, are peer-reviewed, but Focus has a different topic each month. And so it's become a big educational tool as well. We also have video supplement on YouTube, which, like Focus, is topic-driven. And you can access it directly through YouTube or through our website, where we have paper or PDF abstracts for it. Let's see. Okay. We have a 19-member staff in Charlottesville, or working online from other places, mainly Vermont and North Carolina. We are self-publishing, and we do everything in-house except for print the journals. So we have everything from manuscript processing through substantive editing, production, subscriptions, and of course communications and IT. I am the communications department. Yeah. I try to pretend that I have a staff, but I'm sort of it. Okay. As well as the reference editor, the this, and a whole bunch of other things, and the metrics person. We brought in this whole staff actually and became this sort of self-publishing small unit of a variety of people in the 1990s with John Jane, MD. He decided he didn't want to have, people here and there. So he pulled us all together in Charlottesville, and he was followed by Marty Weiss, who had also been connected with us as an editorial board member and was the editor of Focus. 2 years ago, Dr. Jane stepped down from his position, and James Rutka stepped up to be the editor-in-chief of our whole organization. Dr. Rutka is the chair of surgery at the University of Toronto, so therefore we do a lot of work together through emails, video conferences, telephone calls, whereas John Jane was physically in the office every day, whenever surgery would allow, because he was with the University of Virginia as its chair. The reason I want to show you the difference between at the start of this strategic plan and right now, which is 2 years into it, gives you an idea of how much things can change once you start doing this. Dr. Jane actually passed away last fall, and we miss him, and Dr. Weiss retired from Focus last month. We now have associate editors. We have a new editor for Focus. Everyone is in different places, and we all come together to produce our journals. Now, Dr. Rutka, when he came in as editor-in-chief, wanted to see us do a strategic plan. He had had a successful one at the University of Toronto, and he knew that it was going to be a great idea. These were our reactions, actually. We weren't quite sure that it was appropriate for a 19-member group that was just doing journals for the society. We just didn't know. We just thought, okay, yeah, well, we'd rather not, but we'll go along with it. Okay, so we did figure that we'd done a whole lot of things, from the 1990s when we had one journal to having 4 and a variety of different things and videos and everything else. We thought we were pretty good. We also thought that we had been keeping up with the Joneses and making sure that our publishing policies, our editorial policies were up to date, and that we were trying a whole variety of things. We were pretty self-assured that we were doing fine. However, why do you really do a strategic plan? There are a lot of different reasons. For us, we had a new editor-in-chief coming in facing a 5 or 10 year plan, term. His predecessor had been there for over 20 years, which is unheard of in scholarly publishing. He wanted to see that we also had a more proactive rather than reactive approach to planning our future. We had been keeping up with the Joneses, which meant that they got there first. We wanted to see if we could figure out where we could go and be the first ourselves. We also needed team building across our journal staff. We all worked together. A lot of people had been there for a long time, but still they got sort of stuck into their own little jobs and, didn't necessarily think about everything that came together to produce our journals. And we desired to collaborate more constructively with our parent organization. Because of the physical difference, there have also been a lot of other differences between us. For a long time, they weren't quite sure what we were doing, and we didn't realize all of the things that they were doing. There was a bit of a lack of communication, which has really changed greatly since we started the strategic plan. So how did we go about and do this? The first thing we did is we had a planning retreat in January 2014. We were giving ourselves a year to pull this thing together before we started. We had group meetings and we had staff input. First, we started off the whole thing with speakers who we thought would be very good for us. We had Gretchen Arnold from the University of Virginia Health Sciences Library, so that she could give us the true perspective of librarians and scholarly publishing as it is today. We had Brian Nozick of the Center for Open Research, which is an online storage place where people can put their research and they can share it. We had Bill Coldwell, who was then the president of our parent organization. He'd also been on our editorial boards, and he was gung-ho about the notion of a strategic plan. And we had members of the Walkley-Tauber group who take care of getting us ads and are quite knowledgeable in that business area. And we were all brought together by Becky Christensen, who was a facilitator for the strategic plan. She was excellent, and if she was still in the business, I'd be handing out her cards right now. After the speakers, we moved into small discussion groups. Each group listed opportunities that we saw and also pitfalls. We then plastered the walls of a big conference room with humongous stickies and started going through as a whole group to figure out what kind of, how things related to each other, what categories we could put them through, what strategic goals we could start aiming for. At the same time, we sent out questionnaires to our stakeholders. We wanted to see exactly what they thought of our journals, what they thought of our website, where they thought that neurosurgical publishing should be going. We had a second planning retreat in March 2004, and we started narrowing our focus into 4 areas or goals. global outreach and participation, innovations and presentation formats, collaborations with our association partners, and building our own operational capacity. Now, I've been telling you we've had 2 retreats, and I did want you to see exactly where we had our retreat. It was not Aruba as I had hoped. This is the English Inn in Charlottesville, Virginia, which is directly across the street from our offices. We didn't even have to deal with parking. Okay. Kept narrowing things down, and a strategic plan outline came out in May of 2014, where we started talking about our vision statement, our mission statement, our core values. We're working on that. And this was actually not only our stakeholders and our directors of operation and financial matters, but the whole staff was working on this. And the whole staff started working on how their departments would fit in to each of the strategic plans, and they made wish lists. They also figured out, okay, well, this is really expensive. Okay, we'll try not to do that. Is there a way we can get around that and perhaps, still do what we want to do, but for a lower price? We also separated out one additional area of focus, which was the sustainable business plan. We wanted to make sure that that was, going to be able to let us go where we wanted to go. By the way, in case you think that working a full-time job and working on a strategic plan, you have no time to yourself, there are some other things in Central Virginia that you can do. So this is my interlude. And the first, of course, is Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's house, best known for being on the back of the American nickel. And the second is Sunset on Skyline Drive, which is 25 miles from Charlottesville. The McCormick Observatory, if you want to stop looking at the sunset and keep looking into the night sky, that's at UVA. We have a vibrant downtown, the downtown mall in Charlottesville, and there are wineries everywhere. Everyone spends a lot of time in the wineries. We also have a whole lot of breweries now and cideries. So this is what we came up with. This is the Journal of Neurosurgery Publishing Group's strategic plan, which is titled Tradition, Transition, Transformation. The Journal of Neurosurgery first came into the front in 1944 and had a very, very long tradition of scholarly excellence. We wanted to keep that, but we also wanted to look at it as transitioning into showing scientific data in different ways. So we're in the process of transition, and we want to see a true transformation. Now, I do want to tell you that while we were working on the strategic plan, we wound up coming up with things that we could actually start before we even started the strategic plan. These are our goals, and these are our projects that we were doing, but even before that, we totally revamped the look of our journals. We're known as the White Journal, by the way, because we have a white background. It used to be totally white and incredibly boring. But we wanted to jazz it up while still keeping it, recognizable for our readers. So what we did was put a touch of blue, which we call JNS blue, and it looks very much like the strategic plan now. Touch of blue to brand it. And also we changed all the fonts and the format, and where housekeeping like conflict of interest and correspondence information should go, so that it did not deter from the article itself and you could just read the article without having to look at that and consider it part of the text. We also, when I say that we transformed this, what is really interesting is we did this all in-house. We did not hire any designers. We brought together a group of people from our production department, our editing departments, and myself, and we brainstormed and we tried a whole bunch of things, and we're quite pleased with what it looks like. By the way, if you want a feeling for what kind of things we are doing, our strategic plan is on the table back there. When you're facing and leaving here, grab one from the table on your right. There are a ton of them. Please take them. We also started, may I ask for my bag down there? We also tried to think of other things that we could do to begin the strategic plan even before it started. Dr. Rutka wanted to thank our editorial members, to tell them that we really appreciated all the work that they did. So we got our design team back again and made ties and scarves just to, brand us even further. So it's not bad for a publishing scarf. I'd wear it. Okay. So here are our strategic goals and our plans. In the strategic plan back there, the paper edition, you won't see all these nifty little boxes because we are now 2 years into it and we are constantly updating what we're getting done. It's a 4-year plan and we are check marking everything. We have a humongous board in our conference room, kitchen, in our offices. And we meet about every 2 months to go over where we're at, where we're going, and a lot of self-congratulations are going on. It makes it a whole lot more fun, a lot of celebration. Some of the byproducts of working on our strategic plan, we've gotten a great sense of purpose among the staff. Everyone's looking, trying to pull together and trying to come up with new ideas because, of course, no strategic plan is stagnant and you want to keep adding to it. We have better communication with the office and within the association and with all stakeholders. We are working with our parent organization on a whole lot of joint products that we had not envisioned earlier, and everything seems to be going well. We're getting positive comments from our stakeholders, and they're also furnishing from our readers and our authors, and they're also furnishing us with ideas for the future. They feel that they're being pulled in a bit. And we have greater appreciation for everyone's talents, responsibilities, and contributions to the dissemination of scientific literature. And that's it. Thank you.